Hi, it's Alexis Hasselberger, time management and productivity coach. And welcome back to our series all about habits and how to build them just a little bit easier. How to avoid the trap of trying to use willpower and motivation as the sole methods to build habits, because we don't always have access to those resources, right? And when we try to build habits on willpower and motivation alone, it often just doesn't work. So I am here to share with you some of my favorite science-backed strategies to help you build habits easier and faster. Now, habits take time. It's not going to be like lickety split and you're done. But when you use strategies like this, you are going to be able to build habits faster and with less effort than you would otherwise. So I want to share these strategies with you. Now, what strategy are we talking about today? So today we have a strategy that is called Don't Break the Chain, or sometimes called streaks. Now, you will see that lots of apps use this psychology really to get us to come back, right? So I don't know if you use Duolingo to do language learning. I mean, I certainly do. And I know that if I skip a day, I'm going to get an email from them saying, hey, do you want us to, freeze your streak, or you're losing your streak? Or sometimes I get an email saying, hey, if you don't practice right now, you're going to lose your streak, right? Snapchat has literal streaks, right? Trying to get you to come back every single day and do the same thing, right? Lots of apps are using this don't break the chain kind of psychology to get us to do what they want us to do. But how about we use that for ourselves, right? So like with all habit strategies, not all of them are going to appeal to you. Not all of them are going to work for you. Some are going to work better than others. And this is a strategy that works really well for a lot of people. Don't break the chain. So what does this mean? It means that you want to use it for habits that you're really trying to do every day, right? So it could be habits like exercise or taking some medication or, drinking enough water. There could be all sorts of things that you're trying to do on a daily basis. And don't break the chain tends to work better for these types of things because, it's a daily habit. You're not breaking the chain there, right? Versus if it's a weekly habit and you're keeping track of it on a calendar or something, you're going to see some breaks because you're not trying to do it every day, right? So how do we actually want to track this? Now, there are a number of different ways to do it. You can use good old pen and paper. Some people like using a bullet journal, having something that they check off, a checklist. Other people like using a physical calendar. So if you have like a wall calendar hanging, you can literally mark off the days that you do something, right? A lot of people like digital methods. I am more of a digital method kind of a person. And so when I'm tracking habits, I actually use the habit tracking function in TickTick, which is my favorite task app. And, maybe you've heard me talk about it before. If not, I have a playlist of videos right here on this channel of how to use TickTick. It's definitely my favorite task app, and I reviewed a few dozen of them. So that's certainly one that I recommend. And I love that it has a habit tracker built in because then all my stuff's in one place, right? I don't have to go to different apps for different things. Right? Now, if you're not using TickTick or you want to have a separate app for tracking habits, there are a lot of great ones out there, a lot of great free ones as well. So there's Habitbull, there's Habitica, there's Habitify. If you search, Google free habit tracker, you will find many, right? Some people like using a spreadsheet to keep track of this stuff. The format doesn't really matter, right? The thing is that you're just trying to keep track of it day after day. Now, even if you're thinking, you know what, I don't really care about breaking the chain. And honestly, that's me. I don't really care that much about breaking the chain. This is not a strategy that works super well for me. Well, it does work really well for a lot of my clients, but I still like tracking my habits. And the reason I like tracking my habits, the reason I use TickTick's habit tracker to do that is that it helps me see just how well I'm doing, right? So if my goal is to exercise every day, how many times out of 7 am I doing that? I can look back and I can see that history. Recently I looked at my own habit tracker and I found that, I'm doing pretty well on exercise. You know what I'm doing terrible at? Terrible at putting sunscreen on, right? I probably only put sunscreen on once a week, and that's not great, right? I'm super pale. Like I need it. I don't want to get skin cancer. And so I started thinking, well, how am I going to make myself do this? Because obviously like the tracking it isn't helping me that much, but it is helping me know where I'm going wrong. So I decided I was going to use convenience, which we talked about a few weeks ago. So I have actually moved my sunscreen. It is now right next to my toothpaste. And I have been doing a better job because not only am I tracking it, I also put it in a convenient place. And I'm trying to actually use stacking, another strategy that we talked about, to just do it right after I brush my teeth in the morning, right? So applying a lot of these different strategies to make it work. So you can use the habit strategy of tracking, right? Of don't break the chain, even if you don't really care about the chain, you can still still use that to help you see, oh, I'm doing pretty well in this habit. That's great. It seems like maybe it's already built. Or this one still needs a lot of work. So what other strategies might I employ here? So whether you are someone for whom like seeing that big, beautiful chain that hasn't been broken is really important, and that makes you want to keep going, that's great. And even if you're someone for whom breaking the chain doesn't feel like that big of a deal, it can still be effective to track your habits in this way, just so you can get some real data on how well it is going for you. So don't break the chain. That is this week's strategy. Try it out. If it works for you, if it's worked for you in the past, let me know. And if it's something you haven't tried, but you're curious about it, also let me know. And if you have a favorite habit app, a favorite habit tracking app that I didn't mention here today, also let us know in the comments. I'm sure you'll help somebody else out who might be looking for an app to track their habits as well. So stay tuned. Make sure that if you want to get all of these different habit strategies I'm going to be sharing, make sure that you subscribe, because you will be getting a video then every single Monday in your YouTube feed. You won't miss a thing. You won't miss any of these strategies.
Hey guys, it's a video editor here. Exactly like she said, make sure to subscribe because you'll get these videos in your feed every single Monday, and only about 20% of the people that watch our videos are subscribed. So if you're watching the videos, might as well subscribe is my train of thought. So thank you for staying till the end of the video.